Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights, here with an instant episode. Just got the news that Tommy LaSorda passed away. Heart problems, continuing heart problems. Heart problems what made him retire. And sad to see him go. What a great ambassador for baseball. The human quote machine. But thank you, sponsors, Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, Heritage Auctions, Huggins and Scott Auctions, Mike's Stadium Sport Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. Again, if I told you there was a Dodger lefty in the 50s who, when he came up, he was wild and then was a late bloomer, and now he's in the Hall of Fame, you might think I'd be talking about Sandy Koufax, but no, I'm talking about Tommy LaSorda, whose rookie card Topps on my wall, proudly displayed, as he's one of my top 1,000 personalities. He was the oldest living Hall of Famer at the time of his death recently. Again, heart problems. He retired because he had a heart attack back in 96, which is when I had my heart attack as well. He got a new lease on life. 93 years old, so a little bit younger than my dad, but they don't make them like that anymore. He had some amazing quotes and clips when he got on a roll and went on a tirade. If the cameras were capturing it, he was absolutely good TV. He had a famous godson. It's not Mike Piazza, but it was Thomas, his brother. So when Mike Piazza comes up, makes a beeline to the Dodgers and goes on to great success with the Dodgers, and then obviously went to some other teams as well. Tommy LaSorda, he didn't win that many more games than they lost. He's on the Dodgers, were a strong franchise. In baseball, Hall of Fame managers can win 55% of their games or less, but always recognized and regarded as one of the top managers. A couple of quotes that relate to this. One is, he said, the only problem with success is that it doesn't teach you how to deal with failure. And that's perhaps why he was a good manager. He did an episode on comparing and contrasting Walt Alston, Smokey with Sparky Anderson. But again, Tommy LaSorda, a giant personality. He was a great manager, and perhaps because he was not a great player. He was a lefty pitcher that, unlike Sandy Koufax, he went more the coaching and scouting route and used his people skills to great success. The other quote that I thought was interesting that I can also relate to is he talked about three types of baseball players: those that make it happen, those that watch it happen, and those who try to figure out what happened. When I'm watching sports, I realize that the success that you have is sometimes based on the speed of the game. When we're watching on TV, things are happening in real time. But when you're out there on the field, on the court, playing, it's happening very fast. And you want to be somebody that's making it happen. And Tommy understood that, and he had an eye for players that could make it happen. Sports Card Insights, something about the cards, and like I said, I've got him on my wall as one of my top 1,000. But I may rotate that out at some point because my wall is not static. I originally thought, I was looking at some of his cards, I thought he just bled Dodger blue. But then, no, actually, he grew up near Philadelphia, was signed by the Phillies at 18, and then immediately went into the Army. When you're going to the Army when you're 19 and 20, it's making you a man, but it's taking you off the field. So then he comes back, and most of these great cards that he has are from Montreal. They're more or less pre-rookie cards. But he also was in the A's organization and the Yankees minor league. So he's most noted for being this amazing Dodger ambassador, but he was on other teams briefly. The best card, I think, is this 1950 Worldwide Gum. It's American Card Catalog V362, I think. I don't think I have that. I have a different card on my wall, but I think I have the Chuck Connors of that set, which is also a very cool card. But to me, that'd be his best card. It's his very first card. It's 1950. And then he's got the 1952 La Patrie. That's really not a card. It's a huge, gigantic, it's like a newspaper thing that would not fit in any slab. And so you always find it folded, but beautiful colorized photos. And then the two other pre-rookies, the 52 Parkhurst, it's the Frostade Parkies. I remember Frostade from when I was a kid. But I believe I have that somewhere. If I can track it down, that would be the card that I might replace. It's not necessarily more valuable than his 54 Topps rookie card, but it's way tougher. And again, it predates it. The other is the Canadian exhibits, which are very noticeable because they're blue tinted from 1953. These LaSorda cards that I picked up in the 70s and 80s and maybe in the 90s, I picked them up in Toronto when I used to go to the Toronto shows because these are Canadian issues baseball, minor league, Montreal Royals, where Jackie Robinson had been a few years before. But very sad to see Tommy LaSorda leave the game as the oldest living Hall of Famer. I'm not sure who's next. It's been a really tough year, even though we're into 2021. Still, there's been too many people passing away. So Tommy LaSorda, very much missed. The hobby impact. He hadn't been out of the game, but he had been out of the dugout for 25 years approximately. So again, a great guy to collect. Like I said, on my wall, I like to have celebrities that when people look and it just gives them a warm smile. And that's what I get with when I show people the Tommy LaSorda card that I have up there. So again, enjoy collecting. Life is precious. Be nice to old people. Be nice to young people too. I will be back again on Monday with another episode.